I am super excited today because I have a video for you. So many times I have thought to myself, I've woken up in the morning and I'm like, do I really have to put on foundation? I don't know what it is. It's just as you get older, there are so many more issues that you have to deal with when it comes to foundation. So today in this video, I am going to create a foundationless makeup look. And I've really been toying with this, and now I'm super excited that it's just a minimalist kind of thing where you want to look made up, but you don't want to overdo it. And foundation, I'm here to tell you, give you permission that you can have foundationless days. So let's get to it. I'm going to show you some of the tips on how to pull this off if you want to look like you're made up, but you don't want to do the foundation. So let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing, you always want to make sure that you still do your moisturizer, you want to do your skincare, you want to prep your skin, even though you're not going to put foundation on it, you're not going to need primer, unless you really want to. I really wouldn't do that if you're not putting foundation on. But the first thing you really want to make sure you do is you want to make sure that you're going to add some color into your skin. The older that I get, the less color I have, the less pigmentation, so I need to add that back in to make myself look a little bit more alive. So let's get to it. I'm going to use what's left of my blush. I don't have much left, but I'm going to go ahead and take that. You can take any of your favorite cream blush or powder blush, and then I'm going to take my mirror right here, and I'm just going to put it on, dab it in. And you want to make sure that you're either going to do blush, you can do bronzer, you want to put some, if you want to put some highlights on your skin, you can do that too. I always recommend doing some sort of color because you may look a little bit washed out if you're not going to have that foundation on. So I'm just going to go ahead and stipple in some of that blush, and that's what I'm going to do today. But again, you can use any product that you like. Of course, any product I use, I have it linked below in the description. So make sure you check it out there. And I'm just gonna apply some of the blush. You see how that looks? Just a little bit of color. And then of course, I'm gonna kind of put it a little in some of the areas that I want to have a little bit of color there. Okay. Now, if you're gonna go foundationless, you also want to play up your eyes, okay? And what I usually do is I'm not going to skip on my eyeshadow. I go ahead and take my favorite palette, and I'm going to take a couple of earth tones from this palette. I'm going to probably take this color right here and a lighter, maybe actually this color right here, these two colors. I'm going to do this one in the crease. So again, you're just substituting color, and from your foundation, not that your foundation is color, your foundation is just basically going to be minimizing any blemishes or anything like that, discoloration you have. But if you want to skip those, I always try to play up my eyes a little bit more. Now I'm just doing a little bit of color in the crease because I have hooded eyes. That my crease is a little bit above right in the hood. Yeah, it's so funny because I was doing some research for my YouTube channel and some videos that I feel like we really need to have and that we don't have. And then something flashed onto my into my YouTube channel for recommendations for my videos, and one of them was minimalist makeup, and I was like, wow, I am a minimalist. How did my search know that would be something that I would love to do a video on? Again, I'm just doing some crease color, and I'm just kind of dabbing it on and just kind of blending it there, okay? That looks nice. I'm going to do a little bit more over here. I'm just building on a little bit of color to sort of offset. What you really want to do if you're not going to have foundation is you really want to bring attention to your eyes and to other areas so that nobody focuses on the fact that you don't have any foundation on. All right, so now I'm going to go to the lighter earth tone color, and that's what I'm going to put right above my lash line. Just kind of finish that off. Now you can really, really play up your eyes this way. You can really play up anything that you want to do if you don't have your foundation on. So consider this permission. All right, so now I'm done with my eyeshadow. I'm gonna blend it just a little bit just to make sure it's all the way complete. And then we're gonna move on to the next important thing, is my brows, okay? So now my eyebrows, everybody's eyebrows, right? I feel like eyebrows are the frame for your face. It's like a frame for a picture. If you don't take care of your brows, if you don't fill them in, if they're sparse, if you neglect them, it's almost like having a picture on the wall without a frame. So you want to make sure that, again, you don't want to draw attention to the fact that you don't have foundation on. Nobody's going to look at that if you framed your face correctly and if you've drawn attention away from your skin tone. So I'm just going to go ahead and take my powder. I use a powder on my eyebrows. If you guys have seen my past videos, you would see that I like to use a little bit of a powder. I use just a very light brown color because my hair is light brown. So I want to match that. I don't want to go too dark. It's, you know, we want to be color appropriate, right? We don't want to go too dark because then that would look silly. So we want to make sure that it kind of matches. There we go. So you see, so now it's sort of starting to come together, right? The look is starting to come together. I've got the blush, I've got my eyeshadow, I've got my eyebrows done. We're gonna go in with some mascara. Now this, you can really play up your eyes really nicely. I would even recommend, maybe you wanna add for a little drama, might wanna add a little eyeliner. I would not go too heavy on the eyeliner. You don't wanna overdo that. But if you wanna add a little bit very close to your lash line, I'm okay with that. And then what I do is I'm gonna go ahead and really play up my eyelashes because again, I want everybody's eyes to be drawn up my eyes, not so much on my face. And if you did your bronzer or your blush, then it's probably gonna cover some of the blemishes that you have or discoloring that you have on your face. And I'm telling you, when you do it this way, here's another secret. When you do it this way without foundation, it feels freeing, kind of, if that makes sense. Now, I'm not advocating for never doing foundation. I think there's a good time, you know, it's good to have it if you want to put it on. I'm just here to say that you don't have to if you don't want to, right? I mean, you can have a really nice look without foundation. Just stick to these few tips and you'll be just fine. You know, there's some times where I'm on the weekend and, you know, I don't want foundation on because I might be going out, running around, doing errands, but I do want to feel like I'm, you know, my face looks nice and I want to feel confident. I just go ahead and do these few things, just to kind of finish out my look. And then I don't have to worry about my foundation. All right, so I did my lashes. So now, see, I've got my eyes complete and done. Here's the part, another part you really don't want to skip, and that is your lips. And this, I have found, even myself, I have neglected sometimes, and then I'm like, why didn't I do that? I've got two things, lip liner and a little bit of lip gloss. This will really make your look just really round it out and really complete it, okay? So if your eyebrows are the frames for your eyes, your lips are the frame also for the rest of your face, because it really ties everything together. So I'm gonna do a little liner. Again, it's linked in comments below. But you can get any liner, any color at any store. I'm not really picky on the colors. I can do any different color I want. Don't be afraid to play with colors. Play with like a red or like a ruby color, or even like a dark pink or something. Just like that. All right. Perfect. So you see how the lip liner kind of makes everything all tied together. It sort of brightens up my face, and then also brightens up my attitude, right? I have a little bit more bounce in my step. I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh, okay, I can do this. can deal with that. And then do a little lip gloss. I did this the other day. It's funny because I did this the other day. I didn't put foundation on, and I did exactly what I did here. And I went to work and nobody even noticed. Of course, nobody's gonna say anything. And I kind of said, huh, I kind of look kind of good. Looking in the mirror, that's exactly the look that you want to go for. You want it to feel good and stuff, and you want to feel like $1,000,000. And with these tips, I feel like you will. But so anyway, that's it. Those are my tips. If you have any comments or any questions or anything, please make sure you put them down below. I really would love to see what you do. Are you excited about trying no foundation? Have you already been doing it? If you have or if you haven't, let me know, because I'd like to do more videos, like minimalist videos. I think they're kind of cool, and we can start a trend. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.